everybody, welcome back. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Arifa and I basically do content all about healing and growing as a woman and as a single mother. So if you're interested, stay tuned.
She's not afraid 'cause she's got her feet on the ground, keeping her head in the clouds.
Okay, so I got some tea to kick this conversation off. So what I want to talk about today is starting over after a divorce or any breakup for that matter. A disclaimer first, I am no expert. I am just a single mom trying to share my experiences and what I've learned from them in the hopes that someone else takes something away from it. So today I want to talk about 3 phases basically that you need to go through when starting over. But I will get into them a little later. I first want to give you guys a little bit of a backstory and an idea of where I'm coming from and how I figured out these 3 phases while I was trying to pull myself back together. So I was married for 9 years. I knew my ex, we were together for around about 12 years. So about a year ago, we decided, a year and a half ago, we decided mutually that things weren't gonna get better between the 2 of us, and ultimately I initiated, or I suggested that we get a divorce. But mind you, through all of this, we also went to counseling. We saw marriage counselors and therapists, but things just weren't working out. So we decided that we needed to get a divorce. So the first phase of starting over is grieving, in my opinion. Grieving, I feel, is very important because you need to also realize or understand that essentially something has died. You had hopes, you had dreams, you had memories with this person, you had plans for the future, and when things ended, obviously all of that went away. Also, don't feel like because you were the one that initiated the breakup that you are unfounded for wanting to grieve this loss or grieve the situation. Don't let anyone tell you that because you walked out that you're not allowed to feel pain or grief or sad about the situation. Because like I said, essentially you have to say goodbye to all the hopes and dreams and plans and memories that you had. So you are 100% allowed to grieve. And how you grieve shouldn't be dictated by other people. Also, you need to note that it's not about trying to fill the void, because that's not grieving. Filling the void is not grieving. Feeling the empty space of this piece of your life that was there is no longer there, and trying to fill it with a lot of negative things is also not grieving. When I say grieving, I mean take the time to just bawl your eyes out if you need to cry. So I feel like it's a very important that you need to allow yourself this time to grieve, so that you can make peace basically with what has happened. Not making peace meant that I might not be able to move past this phase of my life, I realized. Essentially, the second phase for me was reflection. And why reflection is because you don't want to move forward in your life and then make the same mistakes again, or repeat past actions. You wanna reflect on what might have gone wrong, some of the things you might have wanted to do differently. When I used this reflection time, I saw that there were a lot of things that I could have in myself changed, because you also need to remember that you can't change someone else unless they really want to change, and you only have control over yourself and your actions. So for me, reflecting was looking back at our relationship. I basically blamed myself for a lot of things, and was blamed for a lot of things, and I dimmed myself in a sense, because I kept wanting to make up for the mistakes that I made, that was pointed out, which just led me to lose myself in my relationship, and my self-identity, and myself as a person. And for anyone that might be feeling this the same way, or that might be going through through similar, or had gone through similar situations where you felt like you weren't even your own person. I mean, I literally had outer body experiences where I was outside of myself, looking back at myself, thinking, who is this person? This is not me. And with this reflection period, I realized that I never want to be in that space again, where I feel like I am not who I am. And ladies, you should never, or gents, whoever is watching, but you should never feel like you are not yourself because you want to keep other people happy. You should never lose yourself to make someone else happy. You should never feel like you need to love your life for someone else, because we only have this one life. So essentially, I had to put down steps that I needed to take to find my way again, and to find myself again. Which leads me to phase number 3. Phase number 3 is basically putting everything into action. And nothing means anything if you can't actually put into action the things or the steps to change your life. And when it comes to this part of the starting over, I had to constantly tell myself, you need to be kinder with yourself, because you'll fail. I tend to be very hard on myself when things don't work out the way that I want them to. So I constantly had to tell myself that it's okay. Tomorrow's another day. We can do this again. And the more you do it, the more you tell yourself, the more you talk to yourself positively and in good light, the more things, your mindset starts to change. Another thing you need to realize is that when you're constantly being told from outside sources and people that are close to you that you're not good enough, or you'll never amount to anything, or that you're just a bad person, you start to believe those things about yourself. You start to believe those things about yourself, and you need to, if you start noticing this, you need to seriously take steps to separate yourself from these people, because trust me, it's not easy getting back to the point where you feel like you are good enough once that has been taken away from you. It's a journey that constantly has setbacks. The more you do the things the steps that you put in place to getting back to this point where you feel like you have started over, and your life looks completely different from what it was before this breakup or this divorce. The sense of pride you'll get out of that. So for me, what this action plan looked like was putting up boundaries. Putting up proper boundaries when it came to the people I allowed in my life. Noticing triggers in me that might make me fall back into my old habits. Changing my old habits to better habits. Because of the way that I felt like I lost myself. So I was completely living for this person and what they needed from me to be happy. So, and it still wasn't good enough. it still wasn't good enough. Find and focus on things that make you happy. Because if I have to be completely honest, there was this hole. There was this hole inside me that needed to be filled, and I tried filling it with my ex's approval all the time, and it just never got to where I felt like I was fulfilled. And I think that it was mostly because I wasn't being my true authentic self. So find things and find things that make you happy. Do things that make you happy. What this looked like for me was getting back to my meditations, doing crochet, sketching. There was just, it was basically doing a little bit of everything that I used to do to find out if I still enjoyed it and if that is something that I could continue with. Which is also why I'm back on YouTube, because I used to love doing this, by the way. But so yeah, do all the things that you used to do, and then find the things that you feel like you want to continue doing, if that fills your soul and makes you happy. So basically, those were the three phases of starting over that, on looking back now, I feel like I went through. And one big that I had to learn the hard way. After a breakup or a divorce, please, please give yourself time to heal. Don't go date someone else. Don't go do this thing where they say, Ashay, if you want to get over someone, get under someone new. That shit does not work, ladies. It does not work. You are just numbing the pain, and you need to feel the pain. You need to go through it. You need to let it wash over you. Because please don't do that. Please. But that's my story for today. I really hope you guys can take something away from this. And I hope you guys continue to heal and grow. And remember to always live in your truth. Love you. Bye.